Hello everybody, I'm the Speedy Guidy, and on today's episode of the Speaky Guidy, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the best sounding engines in the world. But before that, I just wanted to show you guys how the F40 Lego build came out from last week. Look at that thing, huh? It took us long enough. So if you're anything like me and you hear a sonorous engine in the distance, you'll just perk up like a prairie dog. You'll do one of these. I have done this multiple times, usually during a conversation, in which case I'll go, "Did you hear that? That was a BMW M3. I can tell because it sounds like a supersonic fart." But nonetheless, engine noise is extremely crucial to automotive enthusiasts like myself, because it just brings the package together and kind of gives the car a little bit of personality. I suppose that's why we can't really connect to electric vehicles, because, you know, there's no noise. Since the dawn of time, noise has been very important to humans. Without the ability to hear, you're just kind of a loaf of bread who likes to complain. And I didn't mean that in a mean way to all the deaf people out there.
Ooh, you suck!
But people go so far as to spend hundreds of dollars just for noise. Me and myself, I spent $350 on an Outside Lands weekend ticket last year, and that was just to hear a bunch of people in the car world spend even more money on upgraded exhaust systems just to make their car sound that much noisier. So just to clarify, in this list, I'm not talking about engine efficiency, I'm not talking about horsepower per liter, I'm only talking about the engine note. That's all we're talking about here, okay folks? So before you go out and argue about what engine sounds better than the ones I choose, I just wanted to let you know that you're wrong. So without further ado, let's start talking about my favorite V8s. V8s are the pinnacle of automotive drivetrains. They're high revving, bombastic, and have a huge cult following. Have you ever met someone who swears by V8s? There are so many V8s to choose from out there, but one of the best is the 6.2 liter V8 you can find in the SLS Black Series and C63 AMG. These engines are amazing! I've driven a C63 and they make you feel like a glorified badass. If you've never driven one, just get out there and you'll know, man. The next V8 on my list is the Ford GT350. The noise this thing makes is so incredibly loud and raucous, it had to make the list. There's no denying. It's also one of my attainable dream cars, and it absolutely blows the door right off the similarly priced Camaro. It's so cool. God, especially when you get it, if you get it in white with 2 blue stripes down the middle, it's just so cool. But now we're gonna move on to V10s. And V10s are an interesting niche in the car world because not many auto manufacturers use them. You probably know them from the Lamborghini Huracan and the Audi R8 because those are the most prevalent ones. But neither of those make this list. So if I didn't say those, you already know what it's gonna be, but come on, it's the Lexus LFA. This is the most intense sounding engine on a production car ever. Lexus literally came out with a banger with this one. They'd never made anything like it and just totally sent it. Everyone else was like, what? Lexus? And in case you live under a rock, an LFA has a digital rev counter because a normal analog tach just can't keep up with how fast it revs, which is so cool. And this was before every dash on every car sold nowadays had a digital instrument cluster, so it was very special indeed. Next, we're moving on to the V12s, the big boys, baby.
Only cool guys.
Only true Italian supercars have V12s. They put the super in supercars, okay? The engines are massive and they have equally gargantuan engine displacements. V12s are known to be the most exotic engines ever, and they're also known to be very smooth, but also wild at the same time, just like me. So this may come as no surprise, but the next car on this list is the Ferrari 812 Superfast. It is a 6.5 liter V12 engine, and it is pure insanity. I've driven the F12 and it's basically the same engine, just with less power, and it knocked my socks off. It just doesn't get any more phenomenal or flamboyant than a Ferrari V12. I mean, literally no other auto manufacturer can match them. Or can they? The next car on this list is, yes, you guessed it again, the Lamborghini Aventador. The engine that comes in the Aventador SV is probably the craziest, so we'll use that one for this example. These V12s have been sticking it to Ferrari ever since the Miura, and still haven't been tainted by hybridization or forced induction. The Aventador's exhaust note is one of the most distinctive sounds I have ever heard, and it's one of the few cars that I can actually pick out from miles away. And here in LA, it's made me do that prairie dogging thing way too often. Shh. Yeah. At the door. That's it for my list. Sorry, I left so many cars out of this list, new and old, but if I put all the cars that I wanted to have in, you guys would be sitting there for 2 hours and I'd be filming for 2 hours, and I don't really want to do that, so. I also wanted to add in some honorable mentions that didn't get to make it into this list, so have a listen. Thank you guys all for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. Write in the comments what you want me to talk about next. If you ever have a car that I can use for a car review, that'd be friggin' awesome. But anyways, thank you guys so much. See you later.